Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, a follow-up on that Marx 10,005 that arrived today. And it was missing its headlight, of course. Now, to my great surprise, I pulled the motor out of this. It has a full-size single reduction motor with spoked wheels and push rods. There's a slot in the top. So it looks to me like this has been converted from a wind-up. I know virtually nothing about the tin litho locomotives. I never got into them. First of all, they're expensive, and I just never got into the tin litho locomotives. In any case, some time ago, I got a Marx motor, really old Marx motor, that had the manual reverse, the lever on the top. And I used that in a Commodore Vanderbilt wind-up conversion, which gave me the original mount for the light bulb. So I went through my parts, I found it, I mounted it on this motor, put it back in, and this is the result. So the original light mount is back in this 10,005. So I have a working headlight, as you see. So other than the piece of wire, it's still completely original. Like I said, I think this is a wind-up conversion. There's a slot in the top. So it either had a wind-up motor in it, or it had a manual reverse motor in it. Hard to say. I just can't imagine Marx wasting push rods on this. And it has a full-size motor in it. It has push rods, it has spoked wheels, so I'm at a bit of a loss. Again, I know nothing about the tin litho locomotives, nothing. In fact, I'll leave the comments open if anybody has the true history on this. Anyway, a full-size motor, spoked wheels, and push rods, and yet it has a slot in the top. I just can't imagine them wasting a motor with push rods on it in a locomotive where they do not show. So I'm thinking it's a conversion that someone has put together. I will never know, but in any case, the 10,005 is complete and running with a headlight, with its original headlight, in fact. Original headlight mount, anyway. And then the Commodore Vanderbilt, I have installed a matching push rod. This one's nice and shiny. This one is a bit corroded, but not bad. Anyway, so the Commodore Vanderbilt is up and running. I have an original light mount for it. I just got to pull it out of the parts box. Been working on the 10,005. Anyway, as you see, this is running absolutely perfectly. So installed the headlight. It's completely original except for the piece of wire going from the motor to the headlight itself. But again, it has a full-size motor with spoke wheels and push rods. So I know nothing about tin litho locomotives. In fact, this is the first tin litho locomotive other than the diesel that I've ever owned. I never got into these things. You look at them on eBay and they're usually quite expensive. And this one's in fair condition. Needs to be cleaned up, a good, actually, bath, soap and water, and a soft sponge. And it'll look more than acceptable. For right now, I've just got that magnetic coupler on the back of it so I can run it. But as you see, that magnetic coupler works absolutely splendidly. Because without that, you cannot run one of these articulated locomotives. There's just no place to couple it. So that magnetic coupler works really well. And this can, in this case, you simply couldn't run it without that coupler. Anyway, so it's up and running. The Commodore Vanderbilt is up and running. So the only thing left to do to the Commodore Vanderbilt is to install the headlight bracket. But as you see, this is running really well. So I've got the push rod installed. It's an exact duplicate of the original. So I'll just clean up the original to match it. As you see, done a bit of cursory cleaning on the wheels. I oiled this rust. I'm going to continue to oil it and let it penetrate and see how bad the surface is. This may lift off of here with vinegar. So it may not actually be pitted at all. The overall condition is perfect. There's no damage to it. Even the handrails are still straight. Finials are intact, even has a red insert, as you see. So I'll just put a headlight mount in it. This will be complete. I've got one in the parts box, just a matter of pulling it out. And I'm going to continue to oil this to see exactly how bad this damage is. It actually doesn't look that bad, as you see, now that it's been oiled. No longer bright red rust. And if I have to, then I'll just immerse the entire thing in vinegar and de-rust the entire shell. And then repaint it. And there's nothing wrong with it at all. And if there is any damage from the rust, the textured paint will hide it. Anyway, so the Commodore Vanderbilt is up and running, as you see. The 10005 is up and running, pulling 10 tin litho cars. And it has its original light bracket in it. As you see, it actually doesn't look too bad. So it was definitely worth $8.50. I would imagine I can sell the shell on eBay for 20 bucks. Anyway, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. I've never had much interest in the tin litho articulated locomotives. Like I said, in most cases they are prohibitively expensive, or more than I'm willing to pay for it anyway. But these came as a group, $17 for both of them, so I really couldn't pass it up. If nothing else, I was going to use them for parts, just for the motor parts. But as you see, both of them are up and running. And not just running, they're running absolutely perfectly. Now, these things are 80 plus years old. And they were in just absolutely dreadful condition. And as you see, this one is cleaned up a bit. And the 10005 was the worst condition. You can see the light bracket I mounted. So it's up and running. Far from perfect, but it was definitely worth $8.50. There's no doubt about that. So in any case, I've got to say it, don't overlook the junk. You know, these were 17 bucks. They looked absolutely dreadful. And I believe there were 4 bids on this. And obviously no one was willing to bid higher than $17. I bid it to 20 bucks. I got them for $17.50. I believe that's what it was. Anyway, it was a fortuitous find, that's for sure. I've been looking for parts, of course. This one has spoked wheels, which is one of the main reasons I bought it. You can always drop another motor into a Commodore Vanderbilt shell. But in this case, the motor is in extremely good condition. It runs absolutely splendidly. It's smooth, it's quiet, as you see. It was just missing that push rod. So I put a push rod on this, and as a quick tip, if you're missing a push rod, put the push rod on. If you need to repeen this, just slide a screwdriver under the wheel right there and then lightly peen that. And you don't have any danger of bending the axle or doing any damage to it. And just actually 3 taps with the peening end of a ball peen hammer, and that new push rod is installed. Exact duplicate of the original. So the other one I'll just polish up a bit and it'll be exactly the same. But as you see, this is running absolutely splendidly. I've still done nothing to this. 2 drops of oil, a shot of WD-40, the same as this. Although I have now installed the headlight bracket. And this is up and running absolutely perfectly. So, as I always stress, don't overlook the junk. This was dirt cheap and they're both running absolutely perfectly. So now it just depends on how much time you want to spend making them look nice. You can run them as is for the rest of your life without doing anything to them. Excuse me. Excuse me again. So the Marx 10005 and the Marx Commodore Vanderbilt, both pre-war, both running absolutely splendidly, $8.50 each. Really difficult to beat that. But as always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.